What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here for Tasty Loot Gaming, doing another TLG Reacts for the Red Dead Redemption 2 official gameplay trailer. Just came out today. Been waiting all day to fucking watch it, but I figured it'd be better if we watched it for the first time so you can get an honest reaction from us. As I mentioned, Chevy's here. What are you feeling about this before we go into it?
Well, first off, Twitter was a fucking minefield.
Oh, yeah.
So I tried to stay off it as much as I could today just to avoid that.
I did see some screenshots that were gorgeous. Didn't really... I mean, I have no idea if this shows any new gameplay mechanics. I haven't heard anything about it. Just seen visuals, and it's beautiful. But other than that, I mean, yeah, like you, it was a fucking minefield. Every time I see it, I was just scrolling past it,
Possible,
yeah, because I want it to be, a surprise for both of us. I apologize if we talk during this. I've been practicing the grimace, but it ain't working out so well. But yeah. I'm also hoping that this will be, because it's a gameplay trailer, I'm hoping it's like the other Rockstar ones that they typically do, where...
Like tech talk?
Yeah, where they tell you about it. So
no, I hope so too.
Because this is 6 minutes long. I can't imagine it's just gameplay for 6 minutes. I mean, it's going to be gameplay for 6 minutes, but I mean, like, they got to have some kind of discussion thing going on, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, and it'd be, obviously within their style to have someone talking about stuff as it's happening and like explaining like what kind of like features, whether they're new or returning features or whatever to the game. I mean, it should be cool. It's funny because like I always appreciate Rockstar games, but I have a really hard time getting into like Grand Theft Auto. But Red Dead Redemption was a game I was able to actually like sit down and play for a long time. So
it's really interesting because they're pretty much the same kind of thing, except for one. I mean, aesthetically they're not the same, and some of the systems are not the same. But I mean, they're still like open world games where you have the freedom to do what you want. So it is really interesting. Maybe the aesthetic works for you better, or like you like the horses better, or something.
Maybe
less
the pacing
chaotic
in general. Yeah,
there's like not people with machine guns fucking unloading on you.
Yeah, I tend to prefer games that feel a little more slowed down combat wise. Probably like good examples like Battlefield is something I can play. Call of Duty something I struggle with. So
yeah. Shout out to Black Ops 4. Slowed it down a little bit for you guys out there who agree with that. Yeah, pretty much agree with everything you've said so far. And yeah, can't wait to watch this. So you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1, and.
We all know it's gonna be an M.
They'll probably
no,
hang you,
never.
Buddy.
One thing else.
It's time to go.
One thing else really. Oh, there it is.
America was evolving.
It's really impressed with the last trailer, the facial mocap.
Oh yeah.
New immigrants arrived. Thriving outposts became towns. And civilization was spreading rapidly into the huge, wild, and lawless frontier. With Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games aims to create a living world that's not simply
quite the
open,
view.
but deeper,
The scale's so fucking big.
more interactive and detailed than ever.
I like the
Combining
seamless
action,
transition.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Storytelling,
That looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
and gameplay in new ways. As you live, ride, and fight to survive as an outlaw
I
in a
love
notorious
fucking
gang.
Winchester style rifles.
Bolt action.
Yeah.
Shot, I'm happy.
Lever action.
Lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they still do this.
Yeah,
The
me too.
game is an attempt to capture this pivotal moment when the age of outlaws was ending and the modern world was born. There is a huge world to explore, set across a range of
fucking
America's
huge
heartland
looking.
and frontier.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
From harsh mountain trails and dense forests
Ooh, I love the
to
lighting there.
untamed swamplands and sweeping deserts. Rugged livestock
Dude,
towns
yeah, the
to
fucking
modernizing
environments are
cities
so
and much
diverse.
more. All populated with a diverse cast of characters from turn-of-the-century life.
Now shoo, please. I'm waiting for someone interesting to turn up.
You play as Arthur
detailed
Morgan,
it is.
a trusted senior gun in the Vanderlyn gang, a band of outlaws and outcasts on the run from the pressures of civilized life.
We're gonna borrow a little money from old Uncle Sam and be out of his hair once and for all.
Each time they're forced to flee an area, the gang sets up a camp as a base. This is where gang members
chicken
eat,
go.
sleep, perform chores, play games, and share stories.
Anyway,
That's
I got
fucking
caught
cool.
by some hill country sheriff stealing a chicken, I think it was.
You heard the
And
camp's
he
gonna
decided
move?
I was gonna be hanged for it.
As you run.
These are the people Arthur calls family, and you will get to know each gang member over the course of the game.
Oh, there's a kid.
So, you save the silly bastard's life, then you and him go robbing sheep.
Dude, look at the fog
Helping the
effects.
camp
Oh,
with
yeah.
food and supplies will keep morale high, while spending time with other gang members can reveal new secrets, fun things to do, and opportunities for mischief.
How about you and me go and redistribute some property?
In and out of camp, the world is alive and responds to the player.
Dude, this is so fucking dope.
Rare treat.
And your guns aren't the only way to interact with the environment.
Bitch.
Call out to a passing rider.
That's a nice horse.
Talk yourself into trouble with a local tough guy.
Clear out.
Or out of trouble with a town sheriff.
The
Or
animation of him
intimidate a
pulling the gun
witness
down.
into silence. And more.
Sorry for anybody watching this.
You're dead, friend.
I know with me talking about this fucking tech shit. I love it.
I like how he
Confrontations
shot
can
and
be
the guy
escalated
stopped and
or
turned around.
diffused.
Take it easy. Do what you want. I don't care.
You can form friendships
It's cool you can talk to
or
people.
make enemies
It's
as
a
you
lot of
choose.
You
interaction
killed my
available.
cousin, you sick son of a bitch.
Your actions have consequences, and it's up to you to decide
It's a good
just
spot to
how
be in.
honorable Arthur is.
Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?
Shooting and fighting have both been radically improved to make combat deep and engaging at all times.
It looks
Each
fucking
weapon
good.
has unique characteristics, with realistic reload and recoil that always keeps the player grounded and connected to the
Oh, it's like
action in
Max
the
Payne.
gunfight.
That's fucking cool.
In a similar way, the bond with your horse is crucial and changes based on your treatment of the animal.
The dust coming off the horse?
Some breeds are better suited for certain tasks.
I got a fella been looking.
That's
for
cool,
a
you have a relationship with your
like this
horse.
for a while.
Your saddle and saddlebags can store extra weapons, along with supplies and animal carcasses that you pick up while out roaming or hunting.
This is a live-in game. This is fucking cool.
Over time, the bond between you and your horse will grow, making them easier
Bond
to
with
control
boy and
in tense
puppy.
situations.
Yeah, he's a great
horse do that turn?
Aside from when the devil got him.
A rich and varied ecosystem
Moose.
thrives in the world, full of predators,
Ooh.
prey,
Wow,
and
that-
scavengers.
This is so fucking
All
cool.
smart and sometimes deadly.
You want to come with me? I'll show you how we hunt one.
Yeah,
Hunting
alright.
helps the camp
Oh.
or earns you money. Wound an
Hunting with
animal,
the
and
bow.
you'll have to track them down. Animal pelts and other items you find can be traded for cash to use at general stores, gunsmiths, saloons, and elsewhere.
This is God's own country, and I feel I'm in purgatory.
This is a world that is rich in depth and detail. All designed to be
Holy
explored
shit.
on horseback or on foot.
That is fucking amazing
That,
looking.
that
as
animation
you
was
live the
stupid.
fateful journey of a gang of outlaws on the run across America.
Dude, I can't wait for this
In the
game.
next gameplay video, we'll look at missions,
Out of the way,
activities,
fucker.
enemy gangs,
Fishing!
robberies, other things to do, and much more, including the evolution of sharpshooting using the Deadeye system.
Cool. It's like the one thing from the original game that's made its way this far.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have another video coming up.
Did they say when? I don't think they did.
They didn't say when, they just said what they were gonna talk about in the next video.
Alright, well, impressions.
I mean, it's always crazy. Rockstar is one of those companies that, like, the only person they have to outdo is themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Kind
They
of
don't-
like Naughty Dog's that way too, you know?
And it's funny too because they don't clash either because they're completely different areas in gaming. But like even Olmix, I was saying like this feels like, you know, the next step in gaming essentially, and I agree with him on that because I mean that's, or at least next step in open world gaming,
Right.
For sure. And Rockstar always does that. But yeah, they only can outdo themselves in that regard because they were set the bar with their last game. So even though Witcher 3 definitely for me did that with fantasy open world games for sure. So you were saying something, I kind of interrupted you.
Well, the problem is I'm having a hard time, like, figuring out, like, what to say. I mean, really, like,
showed off a lot.
Simply put, yeah, exactly. It looks amazing. That's the simple version to put it there. You know, and as usual, Rockstar has put a ridiculous amount of attention to detail. Like, I'm sure people are probably wondering why the hell I was freaking out about dust coming off a horse. I mean, that's a detail that was unnecessary. And they added it. I mean, that kind of stuff makes it feel more lived in.
I still to this day bring up Grand Theft Auto 5 all the time because the technical feat of that game existing is insane even now because of all the details. Like, you'd be driving down a road and never notice that the guy on the sidewalk was like reading a newspaper, walked over and threw in the fucking trash. Like that's so many live-in details that like they didn't have to put. Most people would not put that there, and Rockstar always does. And this is just the next step in that. Like the amount of like ambient, just atmosphere and life in every single fucking part of that trailer was insane. Like it looks pre-planned and alive, like somebody like was making a movie or something. Like all those details, but that's all just happening,
right?
Which is insane. What were the two biggest things that stood out to you?
I mean, besides like just the small details, seeing stuff like animation, like the dust off the horse, the lighting through the trees, the fog effects and stuff like that. I mean, that's like one of the first places my brain kind of went there. But also, I really appreciate outside of just the stuff you're going to do in these games, which is like missions and shooting at people and whatnot. I really appreciate that they did emphasize on the mini game aspect, because I did really enjoy that about the first game, being able to like do the knife game with your fingers or play cards or whatever.
That's one thing I love about Rockstar games is like even in Grand Theft Auto, I mean, like you could be living in your house, go like take a walk down the fucking sidewalk, go to the tennis court and just play fucking tennis with somebody. And it's like those small things, same thing I love in MMOs too, those social things that just make the world feel more like you can just exist in it.
Right.
And this game looks like it's doing, like you were saying, they expanded on the minigame stuff more, but like even like the hunting aspect.
Right. The pelts for money that you use to actually do things in the game. And
it's kind of doing like the Far Cry 5 thing in the sense of like you don't have to just be playing the missions. You can just go on a fucking adventure, which is more into like the Elder Scrolls fantasy open world, genre.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really appreciate that because like MMOs, it's good to have something to like kind of like take a break and do something else.
Yeah, I get burnt out pretty easily on just like fucking hammering through the storyline of a game.
It makes the game last longer for you too. You get more bang for your buck. You get to spend hours and hours and hours in the game. I mean, like realistically, think about how many games you own and how many of those have you spent 40, 50, 100 hours in, it's not many.
Yeah.
So I know Monster Hunter's done that for me. MMOs do that for me. A game like No Man's Sky can do that for me. It hasn't, but I know it's gonna.
Surprisingly, God of War is a long game.
God of War did a lot of extra, though. There's side quests and stuff. So there's... plus, they made a long story, which was really smart.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. Shout out to fucking Santa Monica.
Yeah. And I gotta sit down and actually, like, play through that game.
So good.
I think... here's another example. Like, I love Horizon Zero Dawn, but, like, when I was done. Right?
Yeah, I bought the expansion. I still haven't gone back or the DLC, whatever the fuck they're calling it, and I still have not gone back and played it.
Yeah, and that's something I need to do as well. But like, there's no like extras in that game that make me compelled to want to like live in the world.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, for sure. Like, and I can only give that game the highest credit you can give to a game. It's a fantastic, amazing game, and I love it. And visually, it's amazing, and it's really fun to play. But the side quests are more designed to unlock new things, and once you've done that, there isn't much to go back unless you're trying to beat your own score. Whereas like a game like this, or even like Far Cry, it is just like fun to go out there and do that shit.
For sure.
So there's something to gain too, monetary or whatever.
Sure, exactly. Or like in some of the cases, like relationship statuses with people or animals, which is great because, I mean, like I said, extras are important, and it's pretty much the two things, like coming back to where we started, that stood out to me was extra attention to detail, extra stuff to do in the game. Like,
well, that's the great thing about this trailer too. I really appreciate that it was a 6-minute trailer that really dissected the game, because this gave me more than any of the stuff prior has given. And yeah, so just getting all that information, there is, plenty to talk about. I mean, the two things that really stood out to me outside of graphics and visual fidelity, which is the easiest thing you could say, that every scene in that was fucking gorgeous, especially towards the end when you could see that huge fucking open plain with like the, what are those called, the plateaus or what the fuck they're called, whatever they are, the flat top areas. It's amazing looking, and I can sit there and talk all day about every single fucking detail and how insane that is. But the thing I'm really, really happy with, and this is something in almost all Rockstar games, is they are adding depth to your character's journey outside of just, oh, this cutscene was interesting, that guy's such a quirky, weird fucking dude. That your camp's going to be moving with your story or whatever is going to add an element of progression and journey, but also getting to know all the people in your camp is really interesting. It's adding more to the story, more investment, more to lose. I really like that the horse has a system to it that you can try and have a better relationship with it. And I also like that you can interact with people in the world too. That's really cool because you can I'm sure, because it's from Rockstar, it will affect interactions and if you piss off enough people for too long, I'm sure they'll get really pissed and can attack you first or something like that. Or if you're nice, you can settle down someone who might be getting insane about something.
Well, and they brought that up, that doing stuff for the benefit of the camp would raise morale and relationships, and they also brought up that if a cop or a sheriff or something like that's after you can talk them down type of thing as well. So those systems are in there. So
yeah. And the second thing that I mean, all of it's amazing. I really am stoked about the ambient life and the hunting. That's awesome. That's probably one of my favorite parts of Far Cry 5, honestly. Is because I'm a sucker for realism in games. I love that they made an emphasis to show off reloading. The revolver looked fucking great. They had individually put each bullet in. I also like that they're bringing back the whole Max Payne 3. If you got a rifle, you're holding it in your hand while you have the pistol out. And then you probably put your pistol away and you can hold with both hands. In Max Payne, that was the first time they showed that off. And they showed off how when you're on the ground, how you roll and move with the gun and shit. Right. And it's just really cool that they're still working with that system, because that's something I really liked. It adds to making your character feel real. And I mean, they're really getting there with this game, because the facial mocapping's amazing, the animation's amazing, the whole world's so immersive. So just adding something I'm getting shot at, I'm actually putting each bullet in, this is really hectic, adds to the whole immersion of being in the Wild West, essentially. So I love that shit.
Yeah, and I'm glad they, even when they were showing it off, they kind of emphasized they wanted it to feel, real. So, you have to reload, that there's a pressure there, it's time-consuming, it's not instant, It's not just going to be a run-and-gun game in that regard. You do want to feel like you're in the moment. So,
which is good, because in the online component of the last Red Dead Redemption, there were certain guns that were just bah, 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 and then fucking just bah, 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 and just it felt, I don't know, you just run to the same spot every time you started, got that gun, and just fucking go fuck people up. Right. And knowing that they're putting more emphasis on the realism is really cool for me. So really excited for that. Also, I don't know why it stuck out to me so much, but when he was riding in the dark in that forest, and that alligator or crocodile, where the fuck it was on the ground, the animation, the lighting on that thing, I was so fucking impressed by. Just the way its head turned and its body came around behind it and shit. It was not stiff at all. Looked like it was CGI. Oh my god, I can't. Just when it comes to how much work, I feel like if you worked at Rockstar, you'd be very proud of what you make, but you'd in the process of making that, be thinking about fucking putting a gun in your mouth with all the fucking.
Well, I'm sure they're
all the work that goes into it.
Hooked up to IVs that just drip fucking energy drinks into their blood,
and when they're not, they're taking naps in the office. Anything else you want to say on that? Obviously, there's a lot there.
I think we could rattle on, sucking Rockstar's dick all night on this, but
we can continue to do that on the next video.
Yeah, they'll have more. I think going forward, I'm looking forward to them expanding on the extra features, and I'm also looking forward to them talking about the online, because there's no way, with how successful GTA 5's online is, that they're gonna not do that.
And people loved Red Dead Redemption Online, so it's gonna definitely have it. They'll probably say that for last. I feel like they'll probably do 3 trailers. Yeah, I mean that's a good point though. Those are probably some things. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to those as well. But I'd also like to see a showcase of the weapons. I'd like to know what kind of weapons we're going to be getting our hands on. So,
yeah.
All right. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Red Dead Redemption 2 official gameplay reveal trailer. What are I mean, really tell me everything you're thinking about when it comes to it, but also let me know, what are you most excited about? What do you think really, was the best thing about the trailer? And let us know what you want to see in the next trailer. But until the next episode, which should be this weekend sometime, Saturday or Sunday for Tastecast, have a great week, guys. We are Seth and Chevy, and take it easy. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider hitting the like button. We'd really appreciate it. And if you want more weekly content, hit the subscribe button. You can always find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter at Tasty Loot Gaming. And as always, thanks for watching.